Accompanying any resume is going to be your cover letter. And this is also just as important as your resume. It allows for you to customize your experience in such a way that you speak to the hiring manager directly. One of the key functions of your cover letter is that it allows for you to indicate clearly, in a way that the resume couldn't, how you are going to add value in your role, in this new position that you're hiring for. Be sure to highlight your past experiences. Pull from it the skills, pull from it the experience that you would have gathered in your prior role, and how this is going to apply and further equip you to add value in the position that you're applying for. On the other side of things, before you click send, so let's say that you have now put together your resume and a cover letter. There are a few key considerations that you must keep in mind before pressing send or print. Scan for keywords. You would have heard us say it over and over again. Tailor your resume. Review the job posting and ensure that the information that you are presented speaks directly to the job. Scan for grammatical and spelling errors. Do not solely rely on spell check. Proofread, and then proofread some more. And when you're comfortable, give your resume to someone else. You need that third eye. Let them review it. They might just catch an error you missed. Something that is often overlooked is attention to detail. Pay attention to the outline of your resume. Presentation is key. Ensure that you are using the appropriate resume format and you are consistent throughout. Try not to use any more than 2 fonts. And before you send it, ensure that you're doing so in PDF format. Microsoft Word comes in a variety of versions, and you may never know what your interviewer may be using. It might be different from yours. Unfortunately, this can distort your presentation and undermine your work. So there you have it, resume writing. Let's just say you are now successful. You submitted your resume and you have been called for an interview. What do you do next? Let's talk about it. Your average interview can come in any one of these 3 formats: telephone, in person, or virtual. Let's talk about each of them and what they mean. The screening or the telephone interview is usually the first one you will encounter. This is usually conducted by an HR manager or someone from the HR department. This is not to be overlooked, as it is a key determinant in whether or not you will proceed to the next round. Here are a few things to keep in mind. Ensure, especially if you're actively job hunting, that you answer every single phone call in a professional manner. The person from the Human Capital Department will be asking you a series of very basic but important questions. And they will be listening for more than the answer. They will be listening for some of the verbal cues, such as your professional tone, the completeness of your responses. From very early on, they're using this screening interview to determine if you are a fit for the role. The next is the in-person. Most persons are very familiar with this interview type, but tend to do very badly at it. You get very nervous when you see the number of persons. You might be meeting anywhere from 1 to 3, 5, or even 7 persons in extreme circumstances. But there are a few fundamentals to keep in mind as you prepare for an in-person interview. Ensure that you maintain a professional disposition. Be mindful of your body language, your tone of voice. Ensure that you keep eye contact with everyone that you're speaking to. They will be listening just the same as on the telephone, but this time it's different. It's in person. Try not to be nervous. Be confident and focused. You can do it. Finally, this is the virtual interview. In today's day and age, and especially with social distancing protocols, technology is being utilized to ensure that we can carry on as normal as we can. And so you will find more employers utilizing the virtual option. So interviews are now being done on Microsoft Teams, Zoom, and sometimes on your telephone. As you prepare for a virtual interview, the same considerations and then some should be given to the preparation to ensure the best execution of a professional virtual interview. You will be required to dress professionally just the same as if you were meeting in person. Be very mindful of the background. Ensure that you are in a safe and quiet space so that you can limit the number of distractions. Body language in a virtual interview will be just as important as it is in an in-person interview. So there you have it. The three main types of interviews that you will encounter: a telephone, an in-person, and virtual. Before your interview, here are a few things to consider. Ensure that you prepare. Confirm the date, time, and the location of the interview. Learn about the company. Do some research. This will be a clear indication to the hiring manager that you're actually interested in joining the company and joining the team. Understand the requirements of the job. Review the job description or the advertisement before you actually go for the interview. Know your strengths and weaknesses. This is almost a guarantee. You will be asked about these. And then take stock of your accomplishments. Know what you've done, what you're proud of. These are also questions you are likely to be asked. During the interview, make a positive first impression. Speak confidently. Project your voice. Don't shout. Maintain eye contact. Ensure that you keep a positive disposition. Sit up. Keep your arms open. Remember to smile. And ensure that you link your answers to the job and the company. Tailor your responses as much as possible. You want to indicate interest as well by ensuring the questions that you will ask will be specific to the role, the job, and the company. In your interview, you can expect to be asked any one of these three types of questions: situational, competency-based, or behavioral. So let's talk about them. The situational questions will allow for you to display your approach to a specific scenario. The interviewer may ask for an example for you to demonstrate your previous response. Look out for questions such as, "Tell me about a time when." You would want to ensure that you format your response by first talking about the problem you faced, the solution, and then the benefit to your function. The next type of question will be the competency-based questions. These are more focused on assessing your knowledge of attributes and the behaviors required for the role. Expect a question such as, "Describe a situation where," or "Give me an example of a time when." The final is the behavioral, that focuses more on your character. It allows for you to demonstrate the specific skills that you would have that will be needed for the role. The questions here will be very similar to the situational, asking you to tell me about a time when. But now you will be more focused on the challenges that you would have faced in a particular role and how you overcame them. After the interview, here are a few things to keep in mind. Ask for the next steps. Write down anything that you would want to remember. Send a thank you note and assess your performance. Remember, interviewers are assessing candidates for a variety of things. At the top of the list will be professionalism, the right fit, skills and competence, growth mindset, team spirit, confidence, a positive attitude, and so much more. if you did not get the job this time around, try your best to not be demotivated and keep trying. Ensure that you take a step back, see what could have been done differently, and then continue your job hunt. So, there you have it. We have presented to you the basics. I'm hoping that you learned something new or simply refreshed your memory on what you need to do to build your resume, land the interview, and better position yourself to get the job. But it doesn't stop there. I encourage you to read up, go out and do some research, and ensure that you are best armed to present the right resume suited for you, your skills, and qualifications. Thank you for your time, and thank you for joining us on Unicomer OECS Presents, a job seeker's guide to resume writing and interview skills. Perhaps I will see you soon.